Buckle up, baby.
Punch time! Well, you know what? Hold on a minute. I promised Logan that he could do the intro this time. So, Logan, take it away. You got this.
Punch it, I'm Logan, and welcome to That's Just Crait, the podcast where we talk about everything Crait about Star Wars.
And
How's that?
Well, we're not afraid to get a little bit salty either. But
I forgot at that time.
It's okay, Logan. We tried to record this podcast once before, and Logan had some stage fright, as you said.
I fumbled it so hard.
The intro.
You really fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
Second time's the charm. That's why we believe in second chances here at Lightspeed. You know, you really pulled through. You had us in the first half.
Thank you.
But you really had us in the second half.
Appreciate it. I brought it home.
You did. Absolutely. You made a home run with that one, man. I'm proud of you.
Yippee.
Proud of
Thank
you,
you.
bestie. Anyway, thank you to everybody who's listened to the podcast thus far. In case you are tuning in for the first time, this is actually episode 4. Last week was a really fun episode because we had Brooke on the podcast, who was our first guest, and we talked about positive voices in the fandom and what it meant to be respectful online within the Star Wars community. It was a really great discussion. Brooke, if you're listening to this, thank you so much for being our first guest on that podcast as well. And links to all of Brooke's stuff will be in the description down below as always. That being said, today we're back with the classic trio. I would say classic quadruple group, but Hunter's not here today for unknown reasons. He's in the unknown regions, if you will.
Yeah.
So today we're kicking
The
it
Empire
back.
got to him.
We're doing a throwback to just like episode 1, where it was me, Logan, and Hannah just talking about Star Wars. So we're back.
That's what we do here.
Return of the Kings.
Return of the
and
3.
Queen.
Yes. Yeah. The
Lightspeed crew is back,
the Mortis
baby!
gods of this
Mortis
group.
gods.
Yeah. Yippee. Let's get into it.
Dude, I think that we should call ourselves that, but then people are going to be like, their egos
That
are
is so
insane.
cocky. We can't be doing that. Our heads are going to get too big.
Oh, we're the Mortis gods. You don't listen to the Mortis gods podcast?
I'm the sun. Yeah.
I
All
wanna
right,
be
Jacob,
the
what do you got for us
father.
today?
Okay, anyway. What a great...
Lock in, brother.
Such an awful transition. Anyway, for today, like I said, this is episode 4. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, welcome. We're very glad to have you here. We kind of like to kick things off normally by talking about our current Star Wars obsessions. Logan, I know that you've been doing a rewatch of the entire series and just kind of everything.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited to hear your update on that. But I want to go first today, purely based on the fact that I've gotten some of the best Star Wars investments I think I've made in my entire life. Man, I wish we had video. Well, real quick.
Yeah, whose
the
fault is that?
podcast, well, we're not going to talk about that. But I feel like it's a combination of Hannah and I's both, honestly.
It's
but
not my fault this
Yeah.
time.
I'm going to blame Hannah, so that I can't take the blame for this one. But that all being said, the podcast is also on Spotify now. So if you use Spotify to listen to your podcasts, you can officially, as of now, listen to every single episode that we've recorded, including this one right now on Spotify. So if it's easier for you to listen to your podcasts and stuff there, you can.
The best part about Spotify is you can download your favorite episodes so you can listen to them offline. And you can also turn on notifications when our new ones come out.
Oh my God.
Hannah,
Okay,
that
Hannah.
was nice. That was great.
Plug into the podcast. That was great.
Hannah, that's why we keep you around.
You do the intro next time, okay?
Yeah,
You're
I'm just
welcome.
going to
That's
actually
what I'm here
give the
for.
channel to Hannah by this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, you can find us on Spotify as well. But to go to my Star Wars investments, to kind of kick things off on a really chaotic and crazy and stupid note, well, you know what? No, it's not stupid. This is the best investments I've ever made in my entire life.
It's debatable.
I have just gotten... Logan, you know what? You killed it with the intro.
Go ahead.
If
Sorry.
I don't have anything nice to say, I'm going to say nothing
I'll count
else.
my blessings.
Go ahead.
Okay. But the first thing I got was a Watto water bottle, the Watto bottle, if you will. To where it's like this like Phantom Menace cup.
Oh,
like
wow.
they did a collaboration in '99 when the movie was coming out with like KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell, and you could get like different cups from different ones. And one of them is Watto. So it's like this giant Watto cup that has like this like insanely detailed Watto sculpture as like the cup topper. I'm looking at it right now, and it's just like staring me down off camera. It's crazy. But I got that, and then I also got like the Star Wars bag clips are doing a thing right now where they have like the miniature posters that you can clip onto like your backpacks.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They're so cool looking. I want to get all of them, but I wanted to start off strong because it's kind of like I feel like anybody who knows me knows how much I love Rise of Skywalker. So I got the Rise of Skywalker one to put on my backpack,
way.
and I know no one would have guessed that one was one of my favorites. But no, I got the Rise of Skywalker one. It looks so cool in my backpack. I'll probably tweet a photo of it tomorrow, but it looks super cool. But the best investment that I've made, even better than the Watto bottle, is I got about this like 13-inch tall Yoda from Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like you squeeze his hand and he answers questions. I've talked about this on like Twitter Spaces and maybe in another podcast episode, but like I cannot wait to make a video with this thing. The only thing I have to do is I have to get batteries because the batteries were very much dead. So Yoda's dead right now. He's just like he is in canon by the point of Return of the Jedi. So I need to revive Yoda. # save Yoda. And I will
Actually,
hopefully have
Yoda
a
is
video
overparty.
recorded this weekend.
Yeah,
So
Yoda is.
look at that
Let's
little
go
green
back to the
guy.
times of the High Republic.
Yeah, this dude is doing
Yoda
nothing,
is overparty.
Nothing of note. Yeah. Cancel Yoda. Hate that guy.
No, he does make some bad decisions in the High Republic. Spoilers, I guess, but I'm not going to say what they are
He's
in
so
case
funny.
you haven't read them. But I love like classic silly Yoda. I need silly Yoda to make a comeback.
Dude, bring back Empire Strikes Back, like Empire Strikes Back Yoda before we figured out that he was Yoda and he's just a silly little guy. Like, we need more of that guy in here, you know?
Like the one that beats R2 with a stick.
Yeah, exactly.
one that,
and like he's like crawling in his little feet.
He eats like Luke
Hopefully-
Skywalker's beef jerky.
Hopefully, everybody else is
Yeah.
obsessed with this as I was. But the Seagulls song.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
That is
Yeah.
a very deep inside joke with my whole family.
Down to
Yeah.
the beach, I'm strolling.
But the seagulls booked in my head.
Not fun.
If you don't know what we're talking about, I'll link it in the description. If you haven't seen this,
Yeah.
you're about to witness the greatest video of your entire life. It's like a
It's
bad
gonna be the
Oh my
longest
God.
description. Yeah.
But you know what, Logan, or actually Hannah, I'll let you go next, and then Logan, I'm so excited to hear where you're at with your Star Wars rewatch. So Hannah, I'm gonna let you go next. Maybe you've made crazy investments like me in Star Wars stuff, or maybe you haven't. You've probably made better financial decisions than the ones that I've made lately. So take it away.
I wish that I could say that I have. Unfortunately, I just bought like 8 Funkos the other day.
And none of them are Star Wars?
Actually, I think half of them were Star Wars.
Okay.
But
Oh, there you go.
so I went out shopping with one of my best friends that lives right next door, and my sister told us that there was this new like collectibles shop in our local shopping center. So we checked it out. Huge store, by the way. And they have everything very well organized, and it's like, oh, all your video game stuff is here. There's a aisle for Marvel stuff, aisle for like GI Joe, but there is a massive section full of so much Star Wars stuff, and like Star Wars stuff from every era. We probably spent a total of an hour in that store, and I spent 85% of my time in the Star Wars section.
I thought they were going to say $85.
No,
I was about to
Thank
think.
God.
I was thinking the same thing.
I probably almost could have, but I did buy a Return of the Jedi collectible cup that came with a figure of Huttslayer Leia.
Slay.
And then I got, gosh,
It was a Funko Cup?
no, it's not a Funko Cup. It was from like 2004. They did a whole
Oh,
collectible
wait a
cup
minute.
series for
I have
each
some-
movie.
I have 2 for Revenge of the Sith, and I have 1 for A New Hope.
Because
Are they like
I don't have the
hand-drawn
box with
looking
me.
ones?
The
It's like a
no,
plastic cup.
it is a plastic cup, but they're not hand drawn. But they each came with a figure. It had them all on the back of the box. It's too far away for me at this moment.
I got you.
What
I think I know
Funkos
what
did
you're
I
talking
get?
about.
I
If
feel
it's the same
like
brand, it's really cool.
what are the? Oh, I got a new Kylo Funko that I didn't have. I got the newer Ahsoka one that I was just talking about how I had all of the Ahsoka ones until they released the new one. I finally got that
Oh yeah, what
one.
was the one that you were missing?
It was from the Ahsoka show with her white outfit.
Oh yeah, I think
Oh,
you
cool.
did. You send a picture of it to us?
I did not. Well, it was in my haul
Oh.
picture. So yeah, it's in there, but
Oh,
it's in
okay.
the
Yeah.
box. I haven't sent an unboxed picture yet. What else did I get? Oh, I
Nice.
got y'all remember the Disney Infinity game?
Mm-hmm.
Of
I have
course.
a little Ahsoka thing for it that I just use for display. And in the nerd store, they had the Leia, so I got her just to add to my Leia shelf.
Did they ever have BB-8 for Disney Infinity?
I have no idea because I
Because
honestly
I have
never
like
really
some
played the
little trinket
game.
of him. Yeah, I don't have it either, but I think I have like some little trinket of BB-8, and I think it might be from Disney Infinity.
It's
I
very
think
possible.
He's on like a little like hexagonal base, but I don't know if it's like a game piece or not.
I think they did, but I'm not
Huh.
entirely sure. I know that I had the oh man, what was it? Like the Sphero BB-8, like the little miniature one that could like connect to your phone.
Oh my god,
Oh
I remember I
yes,
wanted that so bad as a
I feel like
kid.
we
It
had
was
that.
like it was awesome
Why did I just say
opening
as a kid? I was like
that up on
11.
like Christmas like 2015. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I still
I remember
have it.
because, oh man, that brought me back. I haven't thought about that Sphero droid in a while. I think I
Where
wanted that
is-
really, really bad actually.
That was like new tech at the time too, right? Like that's how they
Yeah.
made
No,
BB-8
totally.
possible, right?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember there was this guy on YouTube that was doing like a whole like making of series because he was building his own BB-8 and he had to like basically reverse engineer the mechanism for like how
Wait
his
a
head worked
minute.
and stuff.
I think I've
Do
seen
you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that thing was
forgot
nuts.
that. I forgot about that guy. Dude, I'm gonna like
Wow.
go on a rabbit hole after this podcast to like watch all of his
Yeah.
videos again. Wow, we're really taking some deep.
We're
cuts
nostalgic today.
I know. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it. I think it's cool.
Hannah, have you made any progress on Outlaws?
I have not, unfortunately. Um, I just ended up being busy over the weekend, and then I've been dying the past 2 days. So, yeah.
Sounds like you're thriving.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Can I get to talk
I
and
think you
rant
can.
about it now?
Please.
Oh, before that, I did a little trinket, little spending haul this week.
Did we all? Oh,
I finally bought some new Lego sets and I built them, and it was a mistake because I have no room to put them
See,
anywhere.
I thought I made
Um,
bad financial decisions, and then you just said Lego.
Hey.
So I know you spent more than me.
I don't make poor financial decisions. My financial decisions make me poor. There is a difference.
Yes. Yeah, oh, that's
There you
so
go.
true. You put that on my grave. Oh my god.
Yeah,
plus,
yeah.
Logan
bought
had to
the,
consult many people to make this decision.
I actually
Yeah,
think that I
I-
gave in and told you to get it, or I was one of the people.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was-
like, yeah.
It was double points weekend at the Lego store, and I had to take advantage of it because it was like a New Year's resolution to myself, and I told myself that I wouldn't be spending any money on Lego unless it was double points, so I could get my money's worth. That being said, when the day came, I couldn't figure out what I wanted, so I spent like an hour and a half walking around calling various different people, trying to figure out what to get. Ended up getting the X Mansion, which isn't Star Wars related, but I just thought that I mentioned that. It's a pretty cool set. But I also got the Arc 170 Starfighter and the Rebel Scout Speeder versus Imperial Dropship little battle pack,
Nice.
which, if you know anything about Lego Star Wars, and this is like a little precursor because I feel like we're going to have a Lego Star Wars episode pretty soon.
Oh, we have
for
to.
sure.
We gotta. There is I think it was 2007 or 8, came out with, I think the original battle packs is what they were. No, besides like the Clone Trooper one. But it was a like little like Rebel speeder, and it was an Imperial dropship, obviously. And it was cool because they were like original Lego designs, like they weren't from the movies or anything like that. And they remade them for the 25th anniversary, and I thought that was really cool. Because like they came with a bunch of like Rebel fleet troopers as well as stormtroopers. They did remake the Imperial dropship back in 2019 for the 20th anniversary. I didn't pick that one up, and I kind of wish I did because that one had a shadow trooper and it was really cool. This one only has 3 regular stormtroopers, but I had to get it, and I really was happy building it because I don't know. I think it was the first Lego Star Wars sets that I actually built as a kid. We talked briefly about it in the Lost Media episode that like nobody will ever see, that me and Jacob recorded. where I mentioned that like, or maybe it was like in the first episode, like the old podcast. But my first Lego set that I ever got was the 2005 like Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter with like the hyperdrive ring with Kit Fisto in it.
Oh, dude,
And I
had
never
that
built
set
it
too.
because I opened up everything and I was like 3 years old and everything was just on the floor and I never built it. So the Rebel Scout Speeder and Imperial Dropship sets are near and dear to my heart because they were the first ones that I actually like properly owned and built. And I remember a lot of people got me like multiples of that set. Like I feel like I had like 2 or 3 of each, unrelated. But it was really fun and I got to build that. But
That's cool.
where I'm at in Star Wars watch through, I haven't made a ton of progress just because I've been really busy watching other shows and like catching up on other things and not really watching a lot of Star Wars. But I did manage to finish season 1 of The Bad Batch.
Yay.
Oh my god, I was
Nice.
unfamiliar with its game. I remember not liking it very much because it got into the very like weekly adventure formula.
That's valid.
But even then, like there was like still like strides that were being made in those episodes. Like I remember really enjoying the Martez sisters showing up in one of those early episodes. I thought that they were handled really, really well and how they tied in with like Rex and stuff was really cool. We got to see Braca, which I remember, you know, being in the show and like it wasn't like a surprise to me, but it was so freaking cool seeing Braca from Jedi Fallen Order pop up. And even more so seeing the Scrappers Guild and seeing like their like the blue ponchos and like the gloves and everything like that because that's literally Cal Kestis's outfit from like Fallen Order. And I thought that that was so freaking cool.
One step closer to Cal.
Exactly.
I'm
Like
Cal
I'm Cal Kestis. I was so. I remember watching that back in the day and being like, Cal's gonna show up. Like he's got to show up, and he
Has
didn't.
to.
And I was like,
One day.
one of these days. Oh, we went back to Ryloth. That's another thing that happened. Insane episode arc, dude. We got to see
go back and
young
watch
Hera.
Bad Batch season 1.
I know. Bad Batch
Kind
season
of
1. Like I
inspiring
actually
me,
slept on it,
Logan.
dude. Like we got to see young Hera and young Kanan in like the pilot for it. And I was like, dude, like, I love that what this rewatch is doing for me is like introducing these characters in minor roles in these shows that are going to end up being really important characters later on. Like, it's a really like fun and interesting thing to happen. And like seeing, I think Tech at the end of the Ryloth episode, like the second Ryloth episode, Tech shows Hera how to scramble a ship's signature, which is like the whole thing about the ghost. And it's like one of those things that's going to come up later and like be really like super important, and it's so fun. Captain Hauser's a really cool character highlight, like for me.
Love Hauser.
I loved his little arc and how he's kind of just chilling the entire time.
He also has
And
the
it's like
best hair in the game.
He does.
insane hair, love his armor, and he
Really
stands
happy
on
why I like
business.
him.
Love that guy. What else happened? Crosshair, really sad. I understand. I remember we were talking about it last week, and I think I was like, I don't understand how people like Crosshair because he did some really bad things. And then I saw him at the like finale of this one, and I was like, Pookie, you know, like
My Shayla.
they really, no, like literally like my Shayla, they left him behind on Camino, and also that, oh my, so much stuff happened. This is gonna happen every week, by the way, where I'm just gonna like realize things and like be like, you know,
So much
crashing out.
happened.
They killed Tonwei, and I forgot about it. And I am so upset because for the longest time I thought that Nala Se and Tonwei were the same person.
Yeah. Not the
'Cause
same.
They treat her the same. And like they just sent Tonwei to pick up Omega, then like Fennec Shand killed her, and I was like, oh my god, because she's kind of like my Gleb Shadow, to be honest. Like as far as like Gleb Shadows go.
Character.
Yeah, that's literally what it felt like. I was like, oh my god, that's gore of Tonwei. Like they killed her. Oh, I texted the group chat. I was like, oh my god, I forgot Tonwei was in this. And then like 20 minutes later, I was like, they killed her. You know, like, oh my god, so much stuff happens in the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for talking smack about season 1. I think it was just because season 2 and 3 were so good.
They are better, but I do think that those Adventure of the Week episodes, even though it's like those are some of my least favorite episodes, they still tie into the overarching story so well that like I feel like a lot of people forget that, in all honesty.
No, totally.
And in hindsight, I really like season 1 a lot more with like the context of seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah, no, like it was cool seeing like Project like War Mantle and stuff, and the destruction of Camino was like kind of like really sad because it hit me after watching the Clone Wars,
Yes.
like the entirety of it now, and like seeing like just like the fact that it was their home, and I didn't have that
Yeah.
sort of emotional tie to it as I did originally, but now it impacted me a lot more.
And I think we talked about it last week too, but like the scenes, I think that oddly enough, I think I brought it up too, but like the scene where you just see like the empty hallways before they like immediately
Oh my
obliterate.
Oh my
god!
gosh.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, dude.
That was
That hurt so
insane.
bad. Also, they killed AZ. I forgot about
I
that.
will never
Like,
forgive them for that.
No, I forgot.
Dude,
That
they
is
they
that,
straight up
that
killed
was
AZ.
the thing that I will never forgive them for.
Oh my, like, cause he like sacrificed himself to get
I'm-
Omega to safety, and like everybody just cares about her so much, and it's just, oh
I'm
my
putting
god,
AZ in
dude,
the
Bad Batch
thumbnail
rips it.
just for this.
Yeah, no, like that was my guy.
in
I
memorial, her and Watto.
dude, because like hot take, and this change, my opinions has changed since, but I used to hate AZ. I thought he was so annoying back then, like like when I was younger, because I'd only really seen him in like season 6 of the Clone Wars, and that's all I
Yeah.
remember him from. But like this dude, he's a ride or die like for his friends. Like he helped, like he sacrificed everything to help get Fives to complete his mission and stuff, and he's like a ride or die for Omega, getting all of them to safety, and he served his purpose. Like that was his mission directive, was to help people, and like pour one out for AZ, seriously.
Imagine the
I,
thumbnails, just like a bottle of like Jack Daniels and just like AZ.
Yeah, no, pour one out of the Watto bottle for AZ.
Dude,
Watto
that's what I'm
bottle.
saying.
Yeah,
No.
and then to wrap it up, because I know I'm talking for a while. I
Very
got
good.
to watch another episode of Tales of the Empire. So now I got to check back in with Barris, and she is not vibing with the Inquisitorius. So that's interesting to see. I wonder what'll happen in like a month from when I finally finish everything else and get to watch after I watch Obi-Wan and probably play Fallen Order. So we'll see how that goes. But I didn't get a lot of progress, but I did watch all of Bad Batch, and now I'm jumping into season 2.
Nice.
Yippee.
So you've really kind of been blowing through it. I feel like every time we get an update, it's kind of like we get to relive it as well, which is kind of fun. So it's really cool hearing you talk about it and like discuss these episodes again. And it's also cool, Logan, because as we go through the podcast, we kind of get to jump through different eras and stuff too. Like the Bad Batch is never like on our schedule to talk about, or like in like the vein of things to talk about. But like as you go through, I said we as in like we're all doing it. But like as you go through the rewatch, we get to talk about stuff like Obi-Wan and Fallen Order and Outlaws. And
no,
all
it'll be
this
fun to
stuff,
bring up
so it's
talking
really
points and
fun.
stuff.
It's a great way to kind of just like exactly what you just said, kind of like bring up talking points. So I think it's cool.
Yeah,
But
because I've been doing this since December, and so now I'm like a couple months into it, and it's just so fun to like just continue like seeing like this world evolve and stuff, and like getting from like point A to point Z basically, because you're hitting so many stops along the way. So it's a lot of fun. I definitely like at this point I highly recommend it. Like if you're just down for it, like set aside that time and just watch stuff.
So before we talk about kind of like one of the main things, Logan, that I know that you wanted to talk about, and we kind of all collectively agreed that it would be kind of like the main topic for today. Before we talk about that and kind of jump into the parks and Galaxy's Edge and everything there, I do think it'd be fun for me to mention and kind of funny for me to mention that, guys, I made an oopsie before the podcast, and I'm talking to the listeners here.
Okay, I was like, huh?
I was like, what happened?
Like, it's like, actually, I haven't been recording this entire time.
Yeah, we haven't been recording this entire time.
But, no, like, I was in my car. I thought that we agreed collectively on, like, 8:30 p.m. to record. So I go get dinner and all of this stuff, and I keep getting, like, random text messages and, like, Discord notifications and, like, call notifications from, like, Logan and Hannah, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are they so early? And it hit me that I pulled a stupid, if you will. I pulled a massive stupid. I totally thought that we were supposed to record at 8:30.
You're so clumsy, for real.
And you guys said 8, so I was like 30 minutes late to coming in to record this. So to everyone else, everyone's gonna be like, of course Jacob would be the one to like mess this up.
Yeah.
But like, I felt so bad about it. So again, I'm sorry that we kind of started a little bit later than usual.
We forgive
Um,
you.
oh,
Hmm.
thank you. Hannah hesitated
I was
for a minute
actually
there, but it's
pretty
okay.
early. I was ready like 10
Yeah.
minutes
Oh no. Yeah.
before.
She was clocking in.
I was like,
Listen,
I'm
I'm
just
gonna make it up to
gonna
us.
sit here.
Oh my god. Pizza.
I got you. Also, no, I'll save that for a future episode. I'm not going to say it. I know that's like the worst thing ever when someone's like, "Ooh, actually, well, never mind." I know that's like the worst thing ever to say, but I had an idea for the podcast, and I think it'd be really fun. But I'll
Yeah,
wait until you
we
guys
can
later.
discuss
So you
after.
guys listening will have to stay tuned. But you won't have to stay tuned for this because today's discussion is going to be all about Galaxy's Edge and the parks and everything there. Logan, I'm gonna let you kind of take the lead on this one real quick, just to kind of like introduce this part of the discussion here. I really love
Gladly.
Galaxy's Edge. I've been twice now, and I really love it a lot. But I feel like you would be the better person to kind of like start this off. So I'm gonna hand the
Yeah.
mic to you.
I wonder why. No, I'm kidding. Um, yeah. So I have visited Disney a lot, and I am frequenting the parks. I haven't in a while, for reasons, but I wanted to talk about Galaxy's Edge today, or just like the parks in general, because I feel like since we have like May the 4th coming up and like Star Wars Night and stuff, I got my tickets for that, so I'm really excited.
Jealous.
I wanted to.
So
Sorry,
jealous
a payment plan hates to see me coming. I'll talk about it again. Um, dude, it was like $45 like every other week. I was like, I'll gladly do that. Anyway,
Yeah, that's not bad.
I wanted to talk about the parks because we just got confirmation that Luke Skywalker is going to be appearing for Seasons of the Force. I think that's what it is this
For
time around.
Disneyland only,
For Disneyland only
might
because
I
we
add.
deserve something because you guys are getting all the other cool stuff. But yeah, like I thought it was really interesting because I like when these characters pop up. Like I remember when Ahsoka was coming out, and we got to see Hera and Chopper show up, and I think it'd be like kind of cool to talk about sort of what we think of the parks so far, and also like where do we think they can improve some stuff, and like what is like our dreams for the parks, like especially we had this like news come up with the Galactic Star Cruiser being like sort of like renovated into like a space for the Imagineering team.
That's so crazy.
So
I cannot believe that they actually
Right.
did that.
yeah, so I think it'd just be kind of interesting to talk about like our ideas, like what we think would be cool to see, like where we think there could be some improvement and stuff. And a big one for me is I want to know like your guys' thoughts on the state of Star Tours because I think it has a very specific. It's like a time capsule almost of like
Yes.
like 1990 something to 2010 era of Star Wars where everything was really prequel fake like focused and stuff, and there's like you could really tell in like the wardrobe that these like characters use and like the decor of the place. So I want to know like what you guys think about that compared to like Galaxy's Edge. Like, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I like
Yep.
that they added the new, what is the word? The new experiences for Star Tours.
Yeah.
Because when I
I'm
went
with-
last
yeah.
year, we got like, I think we got 2 of the new ones, and it was really cool, especially the Ahsoka one. Oh,
Oh, I loved the
that
Ahsoka one so
honestly
much.
kind of made me tear up because I was like, what the freak? Because Star Tours has always been one of my favorites since I was a kid, because it just, I mean, it used to be the only Star Wars thing we had, and it's so much fun.
It's so nostalgic for so many reasons.
It is.
Even like that old classic original Star Tours ride is still so good. Like you can watch it on YouTube, like the whole like, movie pretty much. That kind of accompanied the ride, and it's still just so captivating and so much fun. But I think that the Adventures Continue with Star Tours has really been what's kind of kept it alive, and I think that adding new locations and new planets from newer projects has been the way to go. Because it's no secret, and I don't know if it's this way in Disneyland as much. Actually, yeah, it is, because I think in Disneyland it's in Tomorrowland versus Galaxy's Edge,
Oh.
so it's like on the opposite side. It's kind of similar with the East Coast in Disney World to where you have Star Tours and then you have like the Muppet Courtyard and then you have Galaxy's Edge. So
R.I.P.
Star Tours kind of like, yeah, R.I.P. They really, what they need to do is they need to move Muppet Vision to where the launch bay is and get rid of the launch bay. Yes, I'm saying to get rid of the launch bay and replace it with the Muppets.
I agree, honestly.
But like, if you do that, then you know what you could do? Take what exists or what remains in Muppet Courtyard, Dex's Diner, put it there.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That is a really
food
good
location
idea.
Right
Dude,
into
I
the
would
middle
I
of-
would kill for a cup of Jawa juice.
Dude,
Yeah.
I would love made from real Jawas.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
milked from Jawas.
Oh my
milk
God.
straight from the Jawa. Ugh.
Yeah.
This is getting very interesting.
Wow,
very
I don't know
fast,
the
but no,
geography
like-
of Disney World at all.
And like, think about it, because then you could have like the original trilogy. You could have like a little Coruscant prequel section, and then you have Galaxy's Edge, which is like the full like immersive
be cool.
experience that leans into like
Well,
all eras.
to lay it out
have,
for
like,
you,
the Season
Logan.
of the Force. It would be awesome. Like, I think that would be perfect. But that's just my idea. Hire me, Disney.
Logan's never been to.
I've never been to
Ooh.
Walt Disney World because I'm
So-
cheap like that.
Galaxy's Edge is in Hollywood Studios, and to get there, you have
Okay.
to like walk through this tunnel thing. But right before the tunnel is the courtyard where the Muppet Vision show is / was RIP.
Oh. That's
So
weird.
it's just like it's there, and it's like you're in Muppet area, and then you walk
Yeah.
through the tunnel, and you're all of a sudden in it too.
And it's like Star Wars.
Is there only one entrance in Disney World?
No, there's two.
There's
Okay.
two.
The back
but like the main
back is
one
just
is, like,
not
run by
as
Muppets.
it's like not really as dramatic of an
Gotcha.
entrance. You just walk into Toy Story Land.
Yeah. They really
It's next
did
to Toy
not-
Story Land?
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Oh
Like,
my
the theming
God.
is a little bit off
Oof.
there, to where it's
Yeah.
like it's not like the end of the world. Like you can definitely tell.
It kind of just
you can
like
definitely tell where it
fades
like
out
adjusts
basically.
from like.
Yeah.
Hannah just said it in a better way than I probably feel like I ever could, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think that like having though something like Star Wars in between those two things would be perfect. And I think it works a lot better than Monstropolis. Nothing against Monsters Inc., but you know,
Whoa,
like,
whoa.
that's just me. But in terms going back kind of like to Star Tours for a minute, I love Star Tours so much, and like I never want it to go away.
just thought-
What do you, there's no reason for an I'm not about to
Okay,
say Star
I think you're
Tours.
gonna say
I would-
but. Okay.
I would never, Logan, say Star Tours slander. I love it
Oof.
too much to
I
do that.
may have words then
Oh
coming up.
no, we're about to throw hands on the podcast. You heard it here first.
Uh-oh.
But no, the only ones I haven't gotten that I really want is I have never gotten the Rise of Skywalker Star Tours thing, and I'm
No
so
way.
upset about it. I've
Oh
gotten
my God,
literally
that is, like, the
all
best
of them
one.
aside from like that one and I guess like all of the new Mando and Ahsoka stuff. I've got
don't really
all of them except
do-
for that. I want the Rise
They
of
don't
Skywalker
really do a lot
one
of,
so bad. I've heard it's like amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
I've seen it, like I've watched it, and I also
It is really,
like,
really fun.
I also really like the Billy D. Williams Lando, like when Lando has like the
Yes.
message because it's
Yes.
technically canon because
It's
how he
canon,
kinda helps
like how
recruit the
Fortnite
galaxy.
was.
Like
That's
so
another
Yeah.
one that makes me emo.
Yeah, I remember I think I had watched you know, I'd done the May 4th marathon last year, and I think I went to Disneyland quickly after, and they were showing. Oh no, or was it? I don't know. I remember at one point I rode the Rise of Skywalker version of that, and it was like immediately after seeing it in the theater, and I was like, dude, like this is hitting. I love Star Tours
Nice.
so much. It is forever like when I go to Disneyland, it's like the one ride that I always go on.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, because I love it so much. That being said, though,
Oh no.
I would. It may be controversial, but I have thoughts on how they could improve the theming of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely
'cause I
gonna get a
really
good
like-
Disney check from this episode. Thanks, Logan.
It's okay. I already cashed mine. I did not speak for the Brando company. I think that it'd be really cool if we could get some more immersion in it. Because I think like what I realized was they have like a end of show thing, like you know, like when you land on like the final planet, a lot of time it'll bring you to Batu, and then you can kind of like, you know, lower there, and then like you're like supposed to be getting off at Batu or whatever.
Right.
I think because the theming of that area is so retro, it doesn't work as well for me. And what I'd really want to see is something similar to the Imperial start like spaceport that we saw in Solo. Something like that. Like I feel like it doesn't need to be like you know, I don't think you need to like tear it down or whatever. But it could even be similar to Coruscant, because I think what happens is you have Galaxy's Edge, which is very earthy and natural and stuff and industrial. I think it'd be cool to see something akin to like a spaceport in like Coruscant, for instance, because I feel like that's kind of what they were going for with Star Tours. But
Yeah.
again, it was through like that 90s lens where everything is all blue, and it was still fitting within Tomorrowland. So I would love to see, because like, oh, I remember people were discussing if they should ever implement Star Tours into Galaxy's Edge, and I think that would be a cool way to do it. Like if they would just like, if you're playing like The Sims and you just picked up the entire thing and placed it in Galaxy's Edge, basically, I think it'd be cool if they rethemed it to make it look more like immersive and stuff. And you can still have like the droids and all that, and you can still have like, but like imagine if they had like, instead of droids, if they had, you know, like sort of like the Doc Ondar, like Ithorian animatronic, like, you know, doing security instead or something like that.
That would be cool.
I think it'd be like really, really like cool. Because, you know, that ride, we're getting like new shows for it, and you know, but I feel like it does need a little bit more TLC, in my opinion.
Speaking of Star Tours,
But yeah,
I don't know if y'all remember this, but you know how now when you exit into the gift shop, there's a section where you can like make your own plastic lightsaber?
Yeah.
yeah.
Do y'all remember when it used to be like photo ops where they'd Photoshop your
Yes!
face onto the
Oh my
characters?
god! Hannah, yes! I literally
Wait.
have. Hold on, you guys can't see it on camera. Like, okay, the people listening
Because
can't see this.
I have the
Wow.
funniest one from when we went for my sister's 5th birthday, and my grandparents did Han Solo and Leia. Oh my god, Jacob.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
I was ready. I'm sorry. I have to.
Is that a blanket?
Okay, so
Yes,
listen,
you
listen.
could get it
I
on
have-
stuff.
I have two. So I was ready for this. As soon as you said it, I got excited. So, like, okay, for those of you who can't see us, obviously nobody can if you're listening to this on Spotify or YouTube, but we can see each other as we talk. So I actually have in my room, it's a blanket that my family's had for many, many years that we actually got at Tatooine Traders back in like, God, I want to say like 2002, 2003, maybe 4, something like that.
This is like
And
over
it's
20
little
years ago.
Anakin in a pod racer, but instead of Anakin's face, it's like little me's face where Anakin's face should be. So it's like I'm the one in the pod racer. I'll post a photo. I've posted a photo of the blanket
Please
before on
post a
Twitter,
picture.
so I'll put a link to that tweet, I guess, in the description.
Make that the
was the
thumbnail.
best thing, though.
I should make it the thumbnail. I think that would actually be
I-
awesome. I might do
I need to
that.
find the picture that me and my siblings did with my dad, because I'm pretty sure that I was Qui-Gon.
Oh my god.
Nice, you know. We
I
should
think I did one where I was Obi-Wan.
wait. I
Like-
have one of me as Anakin. We could make this the thumbnail.
Oh my god.
This is perfect.
I'll see if I can find it, because I think I was in kindergarten, and this is such a side note. We did this like project for the 100th day of school thing, where we had to like get like a poster board and then put like 100 of something on there. And I think mine was like, I had like a sticker book for like the Clone Wars, and so I had a collection of like 100 Star Wars stickers on my board, and like on the board was a giant photo of me photoshopped as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Nice.
Like it was just it was my 5-year-old face on episode 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi. So if I find it, I'll send it, and we'll see if we can do that the thumbnail. But that was like, I did that might have been it. I don't know if it was like photoshopped like privately, but if that was it, then that's really
If you
funny.
were
That
Obi-Wan
that's where it was
Logan,
from.
If you were Obi-Wan, I have to interrupt real quick, Hannah. I have to interject. Think about this. The thumbnail, me as Anakin, like the picture of little me as Anakin, little Logan as Obi-Wan, and then Hannah, the Ahsoka Halloween costume. So we
Yes.
have like the
Oh my
trio
god!
of all
how
of us.
fun. Yeah.
I think that would be perfect. We gotta. Oh my
That
god,
would
this is
be.
it. I love how like half this episode is just us talking about what the thumbnail is going to be. But
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say,
I guess
I
if you're
remember the
listening,
first
you
time
already
I
know.
went to Disney and they didn't have that anymore, and I was so upset.
It is a bummer that they replaced it, but at least the lightsabers are cool.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the lightsabers are cool, and you know, like you always see the little kids running around the park and they have one, so that's
I'll
fun
never
for them.
Very
forget
sweet.
my when I did one of those like lightsaber building things there, and I was like really young too, and I thought it was so cool for me to get a double bladed lightsaber. And I did one in like one of the blades was in red because I thought Darth Maul was cool, and then I did one in purple because I thought that Mace Windu was cool.
You're gonna say purple. Magneto
So I
lightsaber.
had, yeah, it was Magneto lightsaber. I wish that that's what my family thought, and I'm gonna crash out about this because they still make fun of me to this day.
Oh god.
Shout out, no, not shout out. I'm calling you out, Dad, and B, sibling. Because as soon as I made it, I was so excited, and like these things like they kind of light up or whatever, and I was like, this was like the cool lightsaber thing at Disney, and I get out of it, and then all of a sudden they're like, why do you got the Elmo and Barney lightsaber? And that's what it was known as for like the rest of my trip
Elmo
at
and
Disney.
Barney
And they were just
lightsaber.
making fun of me because I was like 7, and they were like, why do you get the Elmo and Barney lightsaber? And I was
No.
like, guys, it's not Elmo and Barney. And like when I found when we did like a couple episodes ago, it was that those like lightsabers I found in storage. I found the Barney and Elmo lightsaber, and I threw it away because I didn't want the memories
No.
associated with that thing anymore.
Oh my
you
So
god.
threw it
that's a
away?
call out. I threw it away. That was a call out to my
was
family
a
because y'all
relic.
ruined that for me.
Logan had the trauma
Dude.
saber.
Dude, it was literally the trauma saber. Oh my god. I'm
Logan-
embarrassed. Like I'm red now. I'm Elmo right now. Yeah. God.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do you guys have a planet that you want added to Star Tours?
That's a good question.
I think.
Because mine, right off the bat, Aldani.
Oh, that's a
That's
good
the
one.
easiest
Oh
pull.
my
The
God.
easiest pull for
Dude, that would go hard.
for a Star Tours planet. Like just
That would be
do
cool.
like come crashing in. It's the Eye of Aldani. You get swept up and like you're going through the
Oh,
meteors. Literally like
That
how the
would
show
be
is. There's TIE
so
fighters chasing you.
awesome.
There's TIE fighters chasing you. You like like you dip down below. Like you're going through the mountains. You come back up, and then like they're crashing into each other. Then all of a sudden you get up, and then you. Like that could be like the first planet that you visit.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
the
really cool.
easiest thing ever. And like I don't know like why because like last year they did Seasons of the Force, and then that's when they introduced the
Yeah.
new stuff. They had Cassian Andor as a transmission,
Right.
and I fully expected them to do Aldani as the planet, but they didn't, and I think that's,
That's a
such a
really
missed
good idea.
opportunity. So that's been on my mind for like a
too.
couple years now.
I was gonna say Lothal, especially now that that we've seen it in the Ahsoka show. I just think it would be so cool.
Yeah, we've had it in
And
live
like
action.
if you like flew through the plains and all the grass is blowing, and then some Loth cats or some Loth wolves run by.
And you can like fly alongside the ghost.
Yeah. Oh, that would be
no,
so
Yeah.
cool.
Man.
My deep cut is the Kessel Run from Solo, which I think could be really
Another
fun.
one. That's another great one.
Which I'm surprised in hindsight now that I'm saying it that it's not
Yeah.
already in the ride. But I think that could be really fun because you have like the maw on the inside with like the tentacles and like the electricity and stuff, which could be really fun.
Guys,
You could do I don't know. I'm trying to think of
at
another
Atten.
I was about to just I was thinking
Yeah.
that.
At Atten would be another like
Oh, dude,
crazy because you can
going
have
through the
like
storm cloud.
flying, going through the
Oh,
going through the
that
what,
would
what
be
do they call it?
sick.
The not the void. What do they call
Wait,
it?
no. They need to
The,
get the
oh my
skeleton
God.
crew cast and record
The
something
barrier.
for it. Yeah.
Exactly. The barrier. Yeah, like you could have them going through the barrier, then all of a sudden you can have like shoot down like the satellites or whatever, and then like you can fly into the planet, and then you could land because like you know how like
Right?
they always like land at the end.
Yes.
You can land it in the mint, and then like have it like go down and stuff, and then like
That
have
would
like the
be
little like
sick.
robots and.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna
actually
start
would.
crying because these are such good ideas. and
We
I-
should
we're never
be
gonna get them.
Imagineers.
Exactly.
Is Mustafar added? Can you go to Mustafar?
No, it's not.
That would be
No,
another
I
good one.
wish.
Interesting. Camino. could
I know
be
we
fun,
have
too.
Kashyyyk. Oh, Camino would be cool.
Mm.
I'm trying to
We have
think of
Geonosis,
another-
which is interesting.
Better yet,
Right.
hold
Because
on. Wait,
Geonosis
wait.
is mixed.
Lightspeed
Well-
skipping.
Genius.
Wait.
That could be like a rare one,
Yeah.
like where you do it like in between the
That could be a rare
transmissions.
one.
Yeah.
See, that would be really fun.
dude, we're cooking.
We are
We
really
are
cooking.
Man.
They don't call us the
Oh,
Lightspeed
Atten would be
skippers
so
for
fun.
nothing.
It really would.
Yeah. God.
Atten would be cool. I like the idea of ending in like the mint though. Like
Yeah.
going down and like you see the treasure, that would be so cool. I like how
Scarif would be fun.
we all had to like take a
Yeah.
moment of silence to reflect on
Yeah,
that.
dude, we had to take a moment of silence knowing that we're never going to get any of
We're all
these
just
in real
like staring off.
Being a Star Wars
Thinking
fan
about
is
it.
just
We're going to
emotional
pound a bunch of
damage
melatonin and sleep
consistently.
on these. Yeah.
No,
God.
but that's so cool. I guess to move from Star Tours though into Galaxy's Edge, and we're already at like 45 minutes. It seems like so.
Oh, whoops.
We've been yapping about some Star Tours, which you know
Yeah.
what I mean. That's fine with me. But I guess very quickly, to kind of like I guess maybe round things out and just kind of to end the discussion in like a big way. We talked about this a long time ago on I believe the second to last episode of the Lightspeed cast last summer.
I don't think I was
And
on
I
this
think
one.
I think it was Hannah, me, and Hunter.
I think I know what
And
you're
Hobby,
doing.
This
I think.
episode, and we were like, "What would you turn like the Galactic Star Cruiser into?"
Yep.
But to build off of that, instead of asking, because we already know, unfortunately, what that's being turned into, even though that sucks because it could just be a bigger expansion for the park, to kind of remain in that discussion and to kind of end the discussion here, what would you guys want to add to Galaxy's Edge? Like, if you could add one thing to it right now, because I think that like the Season of the Force stuff that they announced,
Yeah.
with, like Luke. For one, I personally really like how we have like a Galaxy's Edge that's more like canonical with like the East Coast, and then the one on the West
Yeah.
Coast is more
Oh,
like
that's a good point.
you get to see like all of the characters, like Hera, Chopper, Luke Skywalker can show up. I love the idea for like a limited time. Luke is like a limited character that you can only see for like a few months, and like they're doing the big projection thing on the spires, which I think is going to look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I saw someone on Twitter act like, "Oh, it's breaking the canon," but like, that Galaxy's Edge is not as like in tune with canon as
Yeah,
the
they don't
East
see it
Coast one.
right.
And the way that they're explaining it is like a droid projecting it onto the spires. So like,
Which is really
it
smart,
still, like,
actually.
makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love that we're getting a lot of new stuff for the West Coast Galaxy's Edge. But I guess if you could add one thing to both the West and East Coast, what would you add? Hannah, I'm going to kind of give the mic to you if you're okay with that.
I am, because my
But
brain wheels are turning. I don't really know the layout of Disneyland as well as I do Disney World, but I know Disney World, I feel like there's a lot of space behind Galaxy's Edge
There's
that
a
they can
lot of
expand.
yeah.
I feel like it's time they could expand and at least make another little section. But I have to shout out my friend Jonathan, because this is actually his idea. We've talked about this before, because we both agreed, and I think we've even talked about this before ourselves here. There should maybe be another attraction with a little bit more of like a thrill factor, I personally think.
Yeah.
And my friend Jonathan suggested that having like a pod racing themed roller coaster would be really cool.
Oh.
that would
And
be
I
sick.
kind of
like
like
that.
that idea.
I was also thinking roller coaster or like a thrill.
They're doing
Right.
at Universal Studios Hollywood, they're doing a Fast and Furious roller coaster. Like
Mm.
they're building it like right now. But I think something like that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I wonder if it's just a thing where it's like they would eliminate like any like roller coaster type things because it doesn't like fit into like the like immersion of it all.
I guess.
But like if they just said like screw it and like gave
Right.
us something where it's like even something similar to what was it in Hollywood Studios, the Guardians of the Galaxy one?
Oh yeah, the Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah.
No, not the Tower of Terror, but like,
No,
like the Mission Rewind. Is that what it's
Cosmic
called?
Rewind.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That's
Cosmic
an
Rewind.
Epcot. That thing,
Epcot, my
Epcot.
fault. I don't know
It's sick.
WDW.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
something like
that
that
would
is
be pretty
kind of what
simple.
I'm thinking of, because it's like you don't feel like you're on a roller coaster, but it
Mhm.
is. That is, it's a sidetrack, not about Star Wars, not even in Hollywood Studios. that is probably my new favorite ride at Disney.
Ugh, I want to ride it so bad because
never
it has
ridden it.
Oh,
Everybody
it
Wants
is
to Rule the World, right?
so-
As a
Yes,
song.
I've gotten that one. I gotta say,
In like September, right?
yes. So I've rode it 3 times, I think. The very first time I rode it, I think it was the best song to have the best first experience, but I got conga.
Oh,
So
Nice.
fun.
wait. Is that the which one is that?
It's like the come on, shake your body, can we do that?
Oh, no way that's
Yes.
the song.
Oh my god, it was so fun.
Oh my
But I've
god.
also realized that like the way the ride feels is different depending on which song that you have. It's really
Oh.
because
I
then
remember
we
my
got
first
Everybody
experience-
Rules the World the second time, and it felt a lot slower.
That is like my karaoke song actually.
Fun.
I remember something similar.
Yeah, right now, Logan, go.
Yeah, my fault. What's it called? I when I first rode Terror, Mission Breakout. It was Jackson 5. I Want You Back. That's all I had to say.
love
Anyways,
that.
continue, Hannah.
Yep. Well, I was gonna say, not to sidetrack too far from Star Wars, I could go on a tangent about that Guardians of the Galaxy ride forever.
Cool deal.
What
No,
would I add to Galaxy's
agree
Edge?
in that
Okay,
it needs,
Jacob,
like,
your
a thrill
turn.
ride. Oh, well.
No, go ahead.
Basement
It's so
yard
hard
moment.
to tell sometimes.
Yeah,
Because, like,
your
ahead.
turn.
you can see, like, the green, like, light up over someone's thing, like, right when you start talking too. So it's like, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
no. Like, okay. I'll just be quick. I was going to agree with Hannah, and so I was already kind of thinking, like, it needs, like, another thrill ride, because Smuggler's Run is great. It's really fun if you're a pilot. But
Yeah, it's
If
only
you're
fun
a
if you're a
good
pilot.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I remember I rode it one time and there were like these little kids who were pilots and they crashed into everything and it ruined the experience for me in a lot of ways. But my friend and
Yeah.
I were
It's a
pilots
goal
one
for me to
time,
get a
and
perfect
we were
score.
banging at it. We were so good. But like I would say like it does need another thrill ride because you've kind of got like the dark ride with like Rise of the Resistance, which is kind of just an experience in itself. In my opinion, it's the best ride at Disney World in general, and one of the most impressive things that the Imagineers have ever done.
Yes.
And they fixed the cannon room. That's what I wanted. I think that's like why I wanted to
yes,
talk about
dude. I
this today.
saw
Was because
you
they fixed the
posted
cannon
that.
room, which
That's
is
how
the
I found
best
out.
room.
That one's
Yeah,
the best.
because like that was always my favorite room in
Yep.
Rise of the Resistance. Because like bobbing and weaving through the cannons was so fun and like thrilling and like it was such a simple mechanic. And I think that's why it was down for so long. Is because like probably like the clearance between like the ride vehicles and the things like it just caused them to like
I also
close it
feel
too much
like
because like
the last
trackless
time I
rides are
rode
complicated.
Rise, it felt slower.
huh.
This was
I
also
don't
like
know.
last April maybe, but it just didn't feel
Yeah.
as like intense as it usually did. So I don't know if something was going on with it or what.
Yeah, dude, that ride is something. Because the thing is, like, at least in West, that cannon room was so dead. Because like when you'd get to the end and like there's like a little like explosion like
Yeah.
from like the TIE fighter crashing into it. It was always late on like the West version.
Oh.
Because like like you'd get through the thing and like you would start turning and like the thing would explode on the screen, and then like literally 2 seconds later, it would, like the projection would come up on the
Oh.
on like the wall, and I was like, dude, come on, like, because like when everything was synced up, like when I first wrote it back when like they opened it and you had to like wait in like a queue, it was like it was so like synced up and it was just amazing, like chef's kiss, like, and I think I'm gonna try to write it when I go.
I will
on May
never
4th, 'cause-
forget when I took my friend Ivy. Ivy, if you're listening, I'm sorry. We went to Galaxy's Edge for a day because this was when we were in college and our school's spring breaks were a week after each other, so we only had the weekend. So we literally went down to Florida for the weekend and went to Galaxy's Edge for the day.
Nice.
But she doesn't really like heights or stuff like that, so I had a feeling she
no.
wouldn't like the drop in the ride, so I didn't tell her about it. And then we get into the little section where you're about to drop, and she hears the stuff lock.
The lock,
And she just
yeah.
looked at me and was like, Hannah, are we about to drop? Are we about to drop now?
It's like that one meme of like
It's
the
so
soldier with like
funny.
shell shock, and it's just
Yep.
like the realization. Yeah,
And, like, it's not as
I remember
bad.
that was.
of a drop, but I think
No.
the whole immersiveness of it makes it a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
It feels more intense
The first
than
time I
it actually
rode
is.
that,
Yep.
the first time I rode that, I remember taking the elevator up and then being like, how are you gonna get down from here? Because like another like trackless like ride vehicles, like, they don't really do well on slopes, and it just never registered in my brain that like it was gonna fall. And I was like,
Yep.
I heard the lock, and I was like, like, oh my god, I love it. So you, Jacob, you would add a roller coaster as well, like a thrill ride.
I feel like it needs that and maybe like a few more. I'm gonna sound like a not great person, but like hear me out. Like it needs a few more prequel stuff, I feel like, because like I do like how Batu feels like a representation of all three eras, especially the sequels. That's great. That's so cool. But it would be nice to have just like maybe a little bit more prequel based stuff. Just
That's
to
why
kinda,
we
like,
need a
interconnect
pod
a little bit.
racing roller coaster.
I think that would be
Yeah.
perfect too. Like
Even
do,
if
like,
it's a
the
pod
mountains
racing
and
thing
stuff.
set in the sequel trilogy would
Yes.
fit really well.
Listen,
you know?
you guys know how much I love like Episode 1 Racer. I am addicted to that game. It might be my favorite Star Wars game of all time, or at least is
Whoa.
tied with like Battlefront 2, both of them. But
Where the
like,
hell is Fallen Order on that list?
Right?
it's
Where are the
it's up there
Jedi
too.
games?
Okay, maybe I overspoke,
Criminal.
but
Excuse you.
maybe I misspoke. However, it's definitely up there. But like anyone who knows me knows how much I love that game. And recently kind of replaying it and getting back into it as well, like there's so many cool like maps, and like I think that like having like a mountain range like on Batu that you could like pod race through could be really fun.
Ooh,
And then, like,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
win something, if your pod wins, it
That's
could give you
cool.
something after the ride. You know,
That would be
Like a
cool.
something
photo.
special, and maybe
Yeah.
you could like use it for like merch and stuff at Doc Ondar's. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But Logan, I'm gonna pass it to you because I think that Hannah and I are kind of in agreement here.
Yeah, y'all are pretty
And
similar.
I have no idea what you were about to say, so I'm actually very excited to hear your thoughts on this.
I think they should add Order 60. No, I'm kidding.
No!
I had this like no, literally. When Star Wars Squadrons came out, I was really big into the X-Wing thing, and this is like this would never work at all, like from like a logistic standpoint, and also like a budgetary and monetary and financial and anything with that having to do with it, and it's not realistic at all.
Ooh.
You do you do an X-Wing Squadron mission ride, similar to Smuggler's Run. I guess it's like my concept of if Smuggler's Run didn't exist, right?
Okay.
I think it'd be really cool if you did like groups of, let's say 6 people. Except you all have your own X-Wing that you can get into and pilot and control, and it's a motion simulator ride.
Oh.
And it's cool because you have comms that allow you to speak to the other ride vehicles, right?
Very cool.
And you all have to work together to complete a mission.
Whoa.
And as you're flying your X-Wing, which has similar controls to the Smuggler's Run thing, you can see the other ships in the area as well. And it could be on track similar to how, what's it called is Smuggler's Run. But it'd be really cool if it's sort of competitive, like how like Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters is, and like how you like want to have like a better score. Like if you and your teammates are working together and you can complete objectives together, because I think sort of like how the gunner positions are in the Falcon, like they're not in the actual cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that would be really cool if like you can send them to different parts of the vehicle and then have them control different things and have like, because I think
Would
sorry,
be
I
really
love
hard to
Smuggler's Run,
execute.
don't get me wrong, but I think if like there was some sort of separate area for each person to be in,
Yeah.
that would make the experience more like replayable and like rewritable, I guess.
Imagine the
you.
wait time though.
Yeah, but like imagine if it's like imagine if you're the gunner and you get to sit in that chair
Just
on the Falcon, like the gunner chair, like where like you're doing like all this and like you're like swinging and like doing all that. Like imagine how many people would want to be the gunner compared to like the pilots and stuff.
Yeah.
So like something like that, where it's just like I want there to be some sort of like separation of like the parties and then being able to communicate and then working together. I think that's something like that'd be really cool, and it would never
would be
work.
cool.
But this is like my dream thing, and like like a motion simulator type of ride like that. I guess we're being logical. I would like to see Drash from Book of Boba Fett. That's all I need. All I need is Drash from Book of Boba Fett walking around.
For
wonder why,
reasons.
Logan.
And no reason. I think that she's a pretty cool character. Drash from Book of Boba Fett is the final answer, locking it in. Scrap everything that I just said.
Got
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
I love
Got
your
it.
idea of the X-wing ride, though. Like, unironically, that's actually kind of genius.
It
And,
would
like,
never
would be
work,
really
but
cool.
I think a rich person should just build it, you know?
Yeah.
like
I
the
agree.
you could even lay it out maybe in like a similar way as like Flight of Passage from like Avatar, you know, like to where it's like
Yeah.
you're kind of like sitting in your own thing,
Oh.
but like
Love that
they're all
ride. That's
connected.
another top
It's
3
such a
ride
good
for me.
ride.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's really cool. But these are all
Because
amazing
I guess
ideas.
it'd basically be a squadrons game with motion simulation added to it. Because like you
Yeah.
know,
I guess to kind of
something like
round
that.
things out and to kind of bring things to a close, like to ask the audience, what would you add to Galaxy's Edge? You can let us know
Yeah.
down in the
Tag
comments
us.
yeah,
below.
what planets would you want? Like
In
characters
Star
that you want in the
Tours.
parks. Yeah.
Yeah, tag us on
I'm
Twitter. or
very
something,
interested
and let
to
us know your
know.
thoughts.
Absolutely.
I think this was
And
fun topic.
This was a really fun topic, actually.
Good job, me.
I'm proud of you, Logan. You did. You know what?
Yeah.
You really made us proud this episode with the intro,
Thank you.
with the discussion, the topics. Logan,
Appreciate it.
You know what? I resign. I'm putting you in charge completely.
Let's go!
The channel's
Finally!
yours. It's like Willy Wonka,
Yay.
where he's like, "You've got the factory. It's yours." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crazy reference, but okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Well, I was quoting like the original one, not like the Tim Burton one that sucks.
I never saw that one.
That would always
You're-
creep me
you're
out.
missing out. It's
That's a story
Did
for another
not
day.
enjoy.
It's a trip. But to kind
That-
of round things out on a Star Wars note, and to kind of bring things back to a galaxy far, far away, thank you so much, both of you guys, for joining us on the podcast today. If you're wondering where Hunter was, it's funny because in the middle of the discussion, he sent us a text message that said he just woke up. So,
Yep.
although I was
Wow.
late, I didn't oversleep like some people did. So, Hunter, if you're
The
listening,
early Crait dragon gets the Tusken Raider.
Exactly, Logan. That was great. All right, on that note, thank you guys so much for listening, either on YouTube or on Spotify. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Link to all of our social medias will be in the description down below. And until the next episode, may the Force be with you.